Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And before we get to our usual afternoon stuff, because I have a little bit more time today, I'm going to the AHJD case. And so, what is going on here, and why am I bringing it up on a day that I usually don't? Well, because AH couldn't fucking pass up a parting shot, which I think will actually end up biting her in the fucking ass. I hope somebody tags JD's lawyers in this. So, let's pull up what it was. So, some stuff popped up while I was on the clock a couple hours ago. Like, literally right a few minutes before getting off work. And I got this from Tongo Bazi. So what did AH do? What did she post? I usually don't fucking care. I usually wouldn't post this because of the damage she's done to JD. But we'll go into why I'm covering it in a moment. First, we're going to read it. Grab your emotional support cat, everyone. Grab your emotional support cat. And she says, I'm going offline. Okay, no, I gotta do the voice. Scene. I'm going offline for the next several weeks. As you may know, I'll be in Virginia to face my ex-husband, Johnny Depp, in court. Johnny is suing me for an op-ed I wrote in the Washington Post, in which I recounted my experience of violence and domestic abuse. I never named him. Oh, fucking please, bitch. I'll get to that in a moment. Rather, I wrote about a price women pay for speaking out against men in power. People pay a price against speaking out with people in power. I am so tired of this gender bullshit I can't even see straight anymore. But let me go on. I continue to pay that price. But hopefully when this case concludes, I can move on, and so can Johnny. I've always maintained a love for Johnny, and it brings me great pain to have to live out the details of our past life together in front of the world. At this time, I recognize the ongoing support I've been fortunate. Oh my fucking God. Unfortunately, it goes on. Received throughout these years, and in the coming weeks, I'll be leaning on it more than ever. Love always, A. This is the worst line of garbage I've seen in a minute. And folks, I report on the JRC fucking daily. I deal with people who move to justify the horrific bullshit they call treatment at the JRC day in and day out on this channel. And my God, even the fucking JRC seems to put together something better than this pile of garbage. This is it's wanting sympathy points, folks. She's playing the victim again. She is playing the victim. She's playing hurt. It's garbage. I never named him. I remember some ACLU letters that beg to differ. In fact, in those ACLU letters, Miss AH, I might add, that they were advising you, along with your lawyers, what words to use to avoid defamation, and which you bulldozed through. Didn't name him my ass. You may have not written his name, sweetheart, but it's basically the same as holding an Acme sign over his head, okay? Can't shit a shitters, my stepdad likes to say. Okay? Alright. And I continue to pay the price because I spoke out. No. You pay the price because you pretended to the world that you were a fucking victim. You took a man with no diversity. You beat him down, you ground him to the ground, and damn near fucking killed him. And when he had enough, as often we at neurodiverse folks do, when we're done, we're fucking done. I mean, that's it. Negotiation over. Bye bye. When he hit that point, you then, in fucking vengeance, decided to run your campaign against him. The evidence does not show that he ever so much as looked at you fucking cross-eyed. Period. No medical documents. No nothing. No x-rays. And don't give me this horse shit that if you had your ribs stomped on, that it would not have. Have you seen the boots this guy wears? That would cause shattered ribs. You're not going to be moving around and soldiering on. You're going to be lucky if you don't have a punctured fucking lung and internal bleeding. Spare me. Okay? What you suffer from, honey, is you did what abusers usually do to us disabled victims. You abused him, you damn near killed him when he had enough and sent you out on your ass. You then turned around and you turned him into the villain. That's what you did. You lied. You allowed the world to basically turn on somebody with a disability after doing horrific shit to him for years. It is the same shit I have seen time and a fucking again, where we get vilified. We're the monsters. We're at fault. You went and blamed the goddamn victim and projected your own violence onto him. We don't want you to pay the price for speaking out against the man. We want you to pay the price for your fucking crimes, sweetheart. That's it and that's all. We want this to set a precedent, especially for disabled DV victims, to finally start being believed when we come up and tell our stories. For males to start being believed. That's what we want. This isn't to punish you for daring to speak out. It's a bunch of fucking garbage. But women like AH, like the rest of the world, they don't seem to understand this concept. We live in a world where everybody's moving off of gut reactions, and she played all of you, media, like a fine-tuned fiddle. She played all of you. And instead of doing your due diligence and checking the facts, instead of doing your duty as journalists to get both sides of the story and report without bias, you turned it into a goddamn media lynch mob. This isn't about speaking up for women against violence. This is about someone you took and you destroyed because you could. And now you're terrified because you're finally being called out on it. That's what this is. This is an end to the lies. This is an end to the cushy little career you built off of yourself, off of your false victimhood while vilifying the actual victim, a disabled, neurodiverse man, which is horrifying, but unfortunately, all too common. And on that note, folks, I'm going to end this with this. I don't think she's going to win this one. I don't have much hope in the court systems. How could I, with what happened with the DC Circuit Court, the JRC? They're getting away with their madness time and again before I even came upon this particular case, especially what happened in the UK. What I do have faith in is that whatever goes on in the court case, now the media has to actually report his side, his evidence, his witnesses, all of it. All of it. And although I've been sadly disappointed throughout this whole time seeing how people have reacted, there's quite a few common sense people out here, especially from my state. We're called the Show Me State for a reason. She is going to be exposed regardless of what happens with the court case. And you know what they say about Lady Karma. And on that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. I am, of course, going to be covering the trial, as well as covering everything all the way up into May, until the bill hits the Massachusetts Senate floor. Pray for me, folks. It's going to be a rough, 2 months for me here. I do appreciate your time, and I do hope you all have a good one. I will see you in a few moments with the next video that won't come out till tomorrow. Bye.